This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas. Attention individuals, families, and caregivers. It's Medicare Hour and More with Peter right here on K4HD Radio. This is the podcast for all types of insurance solutions while specializing in Medicare because we Medicare. Here's your host, Peter R. Joseph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Great to see you all this morning. I can't believe it's already middle of August. I mean, our year is flying by. I've got a great show for you guys this morning. I've got a couple of great guests. Glenn Jurado, who's our office admin. She's our virtual assistant as well, part of our agency team, and she helps with our customer service side of things. And then Lisa Rehburg, who has been with us before. This will be her second guest appearance. She's going to be talking to us a little bit about life insurance settlements and what to do with them, how not to let your life policy lapse and why that's important. There's actually things you can do instead of just walking away and losing all that money. So some important concepts to learn this morning. Before we get into that, though, I do want to let you know that we are live in quite a few places. K4HD Radio. You can go to k4hd.com or download the app K4HD. You can also see us on Facebook Live on my business page, Joseph Insurance Broker LLC. And last but not least, you can also see us on our YouTube channel. It's at Medicare Minute with Peter. So a lot of different places. You can also text me at 909-217-2630. Any questions that come up during the show, we will respond right away in real time. We've had a few of you do that in the last few weeks, so I appreciate that. If you're listening in, definitely ask away. There's no stupid questions on this show. So we want you guys to be engaged with us, okay? All right, so first thing we want to talk about is life insurance. We're going to show this commercial clip and then we'll come back to it. So let's watch this commercial real quick.
Hi, I'm Byron Udell, founder and CEO of AccuQuote. Since 1986, we've helped millions of people save money on their life insurance. When you boil it down, there are really only two kinds of life insurance: temporary coverage, which is called term insurance, and permanent insurance. Both term and permanent life insurance comes in various different shapes and flavors to satisfy different needs. Permanent life insurance is designed to provide coverage for as long as you live. If your needs are long-term, like estate planning or final expenses, or if you just want to leave a bigger legacy no matter when you die, permanent insurance is probably the way to go. There are lots of different kinds of permanent insurance, but the two primary categories are whole life and universal life, and I'll come back to these in a minute. Term life insurance is, by definition, temporary insurance. It's designed to provide coverage for a limited period of time, typically 10, 20, or 30 years. Term policies are simple and extremely inexpensive. In most cases, your cost each year is guaranteed to remain level for whatever the term is. Again, typically 10, 20, or 30 years. After the term is over, make sure you're sitting down when you receive your premium notice because your rates are going to jump up dramatically, sometimes by a factor of as much as 10 or more. But some of these policies have a built-in conversion option that allows you to trade in your term coverage for a shiny new permanent policy. Term life makes sense if you know when you're going to be financially independent, or if you're sure there's some date down the road where no one will be depending on you anymore financially, like when your kids are all grown up and your mortgage is paid off. Term is also good when you're younger and your biggest concern is getting the protection in place and keeping your costs down. If you're a non-smoker in your 30s and healthy, you can buy a 20-year, $250,000 term policy for less than $20 a month. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's 100% true. Now, back to permanent life insurance. Whole life and universal life insurance are more expensive than term. But let's take a look at what you're getting for the money. Unlike term insurance, permanent insurance is generally designed to last forever. You can't outlive a permanent life insurance policy. With most permanent policies, as long as you pay your premiums on time, your family is guaranteed to receive the death benefit no matter when you die, whether that's tomorrow or 50 years from now. Unlike term insurance, permanent insurance policies can also build cash surrender values, which can be accessed at any time for any reason. You can set up your premiums to remain level for life, guaranteed. You won't have to worry about premiums going up when you get older and forcing you to drop the policy. Nor will you have to worry about being healthy enough in the future to requalify or replace the coverage. If you like, you can also arrange to pay for the policy over a shorter period of time, say 10 years, so that after that, you own the coverage and no further premiums are due for the rest of your life. Universal life insurance, one kind of permanent life insurance, offers a certain amount of built-in flexibility. You have the ability to change your premiums and death benefits to keep pace with changes in your life. Whole life insurance is what I refer to as the Rolls-Royce of life insurance. Whole life costs more than all the other types of life insurance we've discussed, but it does more. Over time, these policies develop significant cash values that are guaranteed and can be accessed at any time. Regardless of what happens in the economy, each year the cash values grow, guaranteed. What's the best kind of life insurance? That's actually a tough question and an easy question. Different people have different needs. If there were really only one best kind, there would only be one kind. I actually own all three types of life insurance we discussed today. My whole life policy, for example, I bought 25 years ago. I pay $4,635 each year. Right now, it has a cash surrender value of $217,000. Better than a lot of my other investments for sure. In the end, the best kind of life insurance to own is the kind that's in force on the day you die. If your policy is not in force on the day you die, you bought the wrong kind. For most people, the best way to make sure that happens is to own a policy with an affordable, level premium for life. I hope this quick overview was helpful. If you have any questions, please dial the number on your screen. You'll speak with a real live person with experience, with answers, and that cares. Thanks for watching.
All right. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a snippet of the different types of insurance out there for life. Obviously, it's not as complicated as Medicare, thankfully, but there is what's called term insurance, and then there's permanent insurance, like the person had shared. We do offer both, so call me, don't call that number. I just wanted to show you a video to kind of lay out the differences. So term insurance is almost like you're renting a house versus permanent insurance. It's like you own the house. So that's the big difference. Term, it's temporary. It usually lasts 10, 20, 30 years. But once that policy lapses after 30 years, it's done. You paid all this money into it. And if you're still alive after those 30 years, no one's going to get any death benefit. So that's why a lot of people layer policies like myself. Our family has both term and index universal life insurance. So the term insurance is for 30 years. It covers our mortgage. In case I pass away, my wife would be able to handle those payments. And then we do have a index universal life. Now, what's different between an index universal and a permanent? Well, index universal is tied to the market. And so what happens is you're never going to lose money on that policy, but anytime the market goes up, you gain. So this is a win-win situation for you. Your investment will increase substantially when the market goes up, and you get cash value. And you can actually take a loan against the life insurance policy for any needs that come up. If you don't pay back that loan, well, then it gets taken out of your death benefit. But the loan's at a low percentage. It's usually about 4 to 6% that you would have to pay back. Again, if you don't pay it back, no harm, no foul. It basically gets taken out of your death penalty. So, I recommend talking to an expert like myself about what is best for you. And we're going to talk about too later on with our second guest, Lisa, about what happens if we can't afford our life policy anymore and we have to walk away. So there are some solutions to that as well. Let us see if our first guest is on. Is Glenn on by chance? Not yet. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Glenn and her background. Glenn has been with us almost a year now. She is our virtual assistant. Her English is very good. She helps us with all our customer service. She helps us basically get new insurance cards for our clients. Any questions on client's policy, she helps navigate all that for us so that, when you call, you at least get someone on the phone. If I'm not on the phone, then she'll be on the phone. She is very warm, comforting, does a great job for us. I'm so blessed to have her as part of our team. She also helps our agents navigate the contracting world as well. So we do have agents all over the United States as part of Joseph Insurance Broker, and she helps get them situated and get the contracting links, get the curriculum that they need to continue to be able to sell you policies and help you out as well. So I appreciate everything she does for us. And her number is going to be scrolling on the screen when she comes on. So let me just check in with her and see what's going on. Oh, there she is. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Peter.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad to see you
That's
on our
great.
show. I know it's pulling teeth to get Glenn to show up on our show. She's not a very she loves being on the phone with you guys, but when it's in person live, a little bit shy, but that's
True.
okay. That's okay. You're doing great. All right. So I'm going to ask you a few questions so our audience gets to know you a little bit
All
better.
right.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Sure
tell us
thing.
just a little bit about yourself and how you became a part of our agency.
Well, by the way, hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Glenn, and I actually work behind the scenes at Joseph Insurance Broker. So I do manage administrative operations, client care, and calendar scheduling to keep everything running smoothly for our broker, Peter. And actually, before stepping into the virtual assistant world, I actually spent 12 years in the teaching field, with the last 3 of those years serving as a school head. And on top of that, I'm a proud mom of 3 beautiful kids. So joining Joseph Insurance Broker LLC actually gave me the perfect opportunity to bring over a decade of leadership and communication experience directly to our clients. So working alongside Peter to help people navigate their insurance needs has been such a rewarding journey, and I'm so glad to be part of an agency that truly cares about serving our community.
Awesome, Glenn. I appreciate you so much. All right. So what attracted you to working with our agency in particular?
What really drew me to working with Joseph Insurance Broker is that, especially the team, it was actually our shared commitment, I may say, to helping people and educating people. Coming from a 12-year background in education, my focus has always been on breaking down complex topics so people feel supported and confident. And insurance can feel overwhelming for a lot of clients, but Peter actually leads with genuine integrity, clear communication, and a heart for service. So, seeing how dedicated he is to putting clients first made me realize right away that this was actually a team I wanted to be part of.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear, Glenn. All right. So, you probably have a lot of experience. So what do you think makes us different or sets us apart from other large call centers?
Um, I think the biggest difference comes down to relationships versus transactions. So let's say big call centers they are more focused on getting through as many calls as possible and as quickly as possible. Here at Joseph Insurance, you're actually dealing with real people who know your name and care about our local community. So we actually get dedicated personal attention from the same team every time. So we actually take the time to truly listen, explain options clearly without the confusing jargon, and follow through on every single detail. And it's actually the difference between being a ticket in a queue and having a trusted advocate right in your corner.
Yeah, for sure. And just to let the audience know, Glenn keeps me on my toes. Obviously, I'm not perfect and I make mistakes, and she catches those. So she's been amazing at just making sure that, the communication is clear to our clients and that you guys understand everything that we're doing for you. So thank you,
Mhm.
Glenn, for doing that. So what's one thing that I help to make your job easier?
Um, well, the biggest thing that you actually does that makes my job easier is that you communicate exceptionally well. Um, you keep our priorities super clear. You actually keep me in the loop on client needs and trust me to manage the details. So when you have a broker who values organization and gives clear direction, it lets me stay 3 steps ahead and make sure everything usually runs smoothly for both you and our clients.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot and say, what kind of things do I do to make your job harder? And honestly, you
Harder.
can be as honest
Um,
as possible.
okay. Honestly, Uh, what I noticed that you'll actually drop everything when a client has a sudden urgent needs. So if a client calls with an unexpected question or emergency, like those clients who actually call you directly, you will actually throw out the schedule to help them right then and there. So it means I constantly have to scramble and adjust our calendar on the fly. And but at the end of the day, that level of dedication is exactly why our clients love working with us. So I'm good at that.
Awesome. No, I love that. So, yeah, if you guys notice, sometimes I don't, make the exact time appointment with you
True.
guys.
Yeah.
And the reason is, like she just mentioned, sometimes there's emergencies that happen. And so
Mhm.
she's on the phone and she's making sure that you guys are rescheduled. So we want to make sure that you're all taken care of, right?
Yes.
All right. So, if you could give every new insurance client one piece of advice before they call an agent, so like if they call me or they call one of my team members,
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
advice would you give them? That's a tough
For
one.
those for those new insurance client, I would tell them to write down your top questions and priorities before you ever pick up the phone. So, a lot of people actually feel nervous or overwhelmed when reaching out to an insurance agent because they think they need to know all the terminologies, like the industry terminology. So, they actually don't need to do that. So, our job, us, is to know the insurance details, while our client's job is actually to know what's important to you and your family. So if you know what you're trying to protect and what's keeping you up at night, we can take it from there, and we can guide you through the rest. So just be ready with your top questions and your priorities. So that's just it.
And just so people know out there, and I've heard great things about you, Glenn, from my own clients. So you're doing a great job. But Glenn's kind of a listening ear as well. I mean, if you guys are frustrated with something or just want to vent, she's there for you. I mean, she'll listen and help you navigate all that. So I appreciate you being so
Yeah.
patient and loving to our clients, Glenn. All right. So here's the last question, and then we'll let you go. If someone listening right now needs help with Medicare,
Yeah.
what should they expect when they reach out to us?
Mhm. Of course, when you reach out to us, you can expect a real human being on the other end of the line who actually listens. So you can expect zero pressure, education first experience. And actually, we will take the time to listen to where you are, what questions you have, and what you're trying to figure out. Then, after that one, we set up a completely free one on one consultation with Peter. Because, of course, we're an independent brokerage. We don't work for one single insurance company. We shop across top carriers to find coverage that actually fits your health needs doctors, and budget. So you walk away with clear options, no confusing jargon, and zero obligation. So again, consultations are completely free and zero pressure. You can reach out to us directly anytime or even visit our website to get started.
Awesome, Glenn. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know, what time is it in your area right now?
It's 12 midnight.
Oh my goodness. So this is dedication, folks.
Yeah.
This is dedication. I appreciate you making the time for us. But if you need to get a hold of Glenn, she's my second hand. So obviously, if you have any questions, she can answer them just as well as I can. If she can't, then she'll ping me and let me know. But her information, you could email her at glenn.administrator@josephinsurancebroker.com. You can also call her at 909-325-3840. Thank you so much, Glenn. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So that is our wonderful administrator, Glenn. She keeps us on our toes. She is extraordinary. I mean, she does so much for us. She creates spreadsheets. She helps with our CRM system so that we know what policies are canceling out for you guys, and we can keep on top of that and be in check with you and help you basically get on the right plan if that happens. She's very warm-hearted, as you can tell, and she loves helping our clients as much as I do. So it's great to have that kind of person on our team. Greatly appreciate her very much. She's done wonders for our agency. So again, if you can't get a hold of me directly, Glenn is the person to get a hold of. And again, we do have agents all over the United States. So yes, I'm here in Southern California. We are licensed in 32 states, but we do have agents that can help you out in different states. So that's never going to be an issue. So definitely reach out if you need help, whether you're in Georgia, Alabama, Florida, New Mexico. We are there and we care about you. All right. So on that note, we are going to basically transition into our second guest. Her name is Lisa Rehburg. Don't mind our title this morning. It says Laura. It's not Laura. It's Lisa. That's my bad. So Lisa has been a guest on our show before. This is going to be her second guest appearance, and she's a life insurance settlement broker. So I'm going to have her come on and share a little bit about herself.
Good morning. Hello.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there. Trying to stay cool. It's definitely
Indeed.
hot out here. I know, right? All right, Lisa. For those of you who haven't heard Lisa before, do you want to give us just a little bit of background of who you are and where you're situated?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in Southern California, so the Palm Desert area, but we do, like you, we serve clients nationwide. And it's a privilege to be here to talk about something that many people have no idea exists.
Definitely. We just showed a short video before you came on about the difference between term and whole life and index universal life. So obviously people have these policies in place, especially our clientele. Why would anyone sell a policy? Let's start there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So 2.5 million seniors a year will lapse or surrender their life insurance policy. And that's fancy language for they get rid of them. They either stop making the premium payments to get rid of them, or they surrender that policy back to the insurance company and get rid of them. And so the short answer is it's because people don't want them anymore. They don't need them anymore. The need's no longer there. Or they've just become too expensive to maintain, and they don't fit in the budget anymore, and they're just more of a drain, right, than a help. Sometimes, Peter, and this is a small segment, but sometimes people are trying to find ways to pay for assisted living or memory care and or other long-term care needs, and selling a life insurance policy can be a solution.
For sure, for sure. And then how much can policies be worth?
Yeah, they can. It depends upon each client, right? Every situation is very, very unique. But the short answer again is tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, we're selling one right now for a couple of $1 million. So it just depends upon the client situation. But there can be some serious money here. And many people have no idea this is even an option. And truly, this is found money for a lot of clients because they didn't know their life insurance policy was an asset that could be sold.
That's great information, Lisa. So I had a situation with a client and you kind of helped me through it, but I'm going to bring it up here in the audience. So I had a client who had basically a whole life policy with an insurance carrier. And they had, I think the face value was $250,000. And they took a loan out against it about $120,000. And so they approached me and asked me, what can I do about this? And so what are different situations where a person can sell it and where a person cannot sell it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So two things. The buyers are looking at, when we're brokers, right? So we're on team client. Our job's to market a policy with many different buyers and get the highest offer for a client. That's who we are. But the answer to your question is the buyers are looking at what is the premium to continue the policy, and two, what is a client's life expectancy? And we're opposite the regular insurance world. The more health impairments, the shorter that life expectancy is, the more money buyers are willing to pay for policies. So in our world, the less cash, the better. Term policies can be sold. But in that particular client's case that you raised, the challenge there was that loan was so high relative to the death benefit of the policy that it was just going to be very difficult for a buyer to beat that level, if you will. So we sell universal life policies all the time, term policies all the time. But policies with very large loans or a lot of cash in them are much more challenging for us.
Okay. And then is this all legal?
Yes, it's been legal since 1911, and that just kind of really surprises people. There was a Supreme Court decision called Grigsby versus Russell, and in that Supreme Court decision, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes deemed a life insurance policy as an asset that you own. So I own mine, you own yours, people own their life insurance policies, any life insurance policy, and it's an asset, right? So as an asset, it can be transferred to anyone you want, anytime you want. That makes our market go. But the market really didn't develop until the mid 80s. So it's a fairly recent market. And more importantly than it being legal, it is regulated. It meaning our market, our life settlement market, is regulated by the departments of insurance in every state in this country. So good news, we as brokers are regulated. And as good news, the buyers are regulated as well. And that's a very, very big deal.
So if someone sells a policy, what are the IRS implications? I mean, do they get like something in the mail, like a 1099 form? Like how does that all work?
Yeah, so the proceeds may or may not be taxable. And I need to caveat this by saying I am not a tax professional or a CPA, and I can't give tax advice, right? People need to talk to tax professionals. But here's the answer to your question. The premiums that have been put into the policy since the very beginning of the policy are a basis. So if the settlement money is underneath that basis, it should not be taxed. Over that basis is typically long-term capital gains. Not to be wonky, but unless there's a reason for the policy, but typically long-term capital gains.
Okay. And then who buys these policies and why do they buy them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to, I'm sorry, let me go back to the last question. There can be, by the way, certain circumstances if clients have very, very, very significant health issues where even the entire settlement amount may be tax-free. So that's
okay.
So back to who buys them. As I mentioned, we only work with what we call providers. These are in our market buyers. They have multiple funds behind them, but we only work with providers that have been approved by a client's Department of Insurance. So that's first and foremost. Tends to be institutional money. So this is hedge funds, mutual funds, college endowment funds, pension funds. The state of Michigan has $500 million invested in these things. And sometimes it's insurance companies, sometimes it's banks. Those are the funds behind these providers. Sometimes it's European funds. So, because United States life insurance companies are very, very strong financially. So that means life insurance policies based in the US are a very stable and strong investment for these buyers. And for them, it's just an investment.
Okay. So if people are listening in, how would they get started? What's the first step that they need to take?
Yeah, I think the first step is just call me, right? Let's have a conversation like you and I did. Let's have a conversation about the policy. Let's see how we can best be of service to you. And then the answer from there is it starts with an application. There's no application fee. It doesn't cost a client anything to find out how much a policy can bring. Full disclosure, we are brokers. We are paid commissions for our work, but we're not paid until a client has sold their policy. They have money in their hands, and commissions are disclosed and fully must be signed off by clients. So we are a very transparent market in all senses.
Awesome. And then where can we contact you? I know we've got your website scrolling on the bottom there. Is there any other options for people to reach out to you?
Absolutely. So phone number is 714 area code 349-7981. You'll find on the website. Or you can do lrehburg@aol.com or lisa@rehburglifesettlements.com.
Perfect. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate you so much. And again, if you guys have questions about a policy you have in hand, don't let it lapse. Reach out to one of us and we'll talk it through with you and see if there's options for you.
I am so grateful for the opportunity, Peter, to be here and help raise visibility for life settlements. Because like I said, most people have no idea this is even an option.
Right. I know. That's great. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Hope you have a wonderful week and thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. So, we want to make sure that there's great resources for all our audience listening in. Obviously, if you've got a term or indexed or whole life policy in place, you can't afford it anymore. Or let's say, you need the extra money for, like she said, assisted living, nursing facilities. This is an opportunity for you to sell your policy and try to make some money off of it and use that money for important things that you need presently. So, every situation is different and every life policy is different as well. As we explained, I've had a client who was thinking about selling, but we found out the loan against that policy was just too high. And so there's certain situations where you're just not going to be able to sell the policy, unfortunately, but it's important to just bring it up and see if that's a situation where we can help you or not. So again, you can get her information. Just go to rehburglifesettlements.com. And then her phone number is going to be on that site. You can also make an appointment through that website with her. You can also reach out to me and I'll be sure to put you in touch with her as well. All right. So last but not least, I am going to share some things on our website. So give me 1 second here. If I can do this right again. All right, cool. Here we go. All right. So we've shown this website before. And obviously, if you're listening on a podcast, you're not going to be able to see the actual website. It is josephinsurancebroker.com. But kind of wanted to navigate a little bit for you guys who are reaching out for any insurance products that we offer. Again, Glenn is on here. As you can see, she's already here to help answer any questions. We do have a AI virtual assistant, but we also have a real person online as well. So if you ever have a specific question, that right-hand corner, you would just click that and then write down your question or type it in, and then she'll get back to you right then and there. So that's kind of the nice thing about our website is that you have access right then and there to customer service. You can see all the states that we're licensed in. And I'm going to actually read this article because we're pretty proud of this article. We just got publicized here on Voyage LA. They've actually interviewed us a few times on their magazine. And we've been on probably the last few months. So Let me bring this up real quick. So I'm going to read this for our podcast readers because obviously they can't see our screen. It says, Peter Joseph is proving that trust, not pressure, builds a lasting business. And Glenn alluded to what we're about and how we operate. This article actually gives a lot of precedent to how we're set up. So just going to read a couple of snippets here. Peter Joseph has spent his career helping people navigate life's important decisions, first through more than 2 decades in nonprofit leadership, and now is the founder of Joseph Insurance Broker. As he expands his educational mission through free Medicare workshops, a new website, and a weekly radio show, his focus remains the same, helping people understand their options before making any decisions. We spoke with Peter about why education is the foundation of trust, how service has shaped his business, and the legacy he hopes to leave for both clients and future insurance professionals. So here's the question they asked me. Peter, after 9 years of leading Joseph Insurance Broker, you're entering an exciting new chapter with free community Medicare workshops, a new educational website, and the launch of your weekly radio show, Medicare Hour, and more. What inspired you to make education, not sales, the foundation of your approach? And why is that mission so important to you? So this was my response. Before I ever sold a single policy, I spent 22 years in nonprofit leadership. In that world, you don't succeed by closing deals. You succeed by serving people well enough that they trust you with what matters most to them. When I founded this agency 9 years ago, I brought that mindset with me. And honestly, I never saw a reason to change it. What I saw in the industry early on was a lot of pressure and not a lot of understanding. Seniors were being sold plans they couldn't explain to their own children. That never sat right with me. When someone truly understands their options, when they can walk out of a conversation and explain their coverage to their spouse, they make better decisions and they stay with you for life. The workshops, the new website, and now Medicare Hour and more with Peter are all extensions of the same belief. An educated client is a protected client. Sales take care of themselves when education comes first. And just to interject here, we do have a Medicare seminar coming up, Medicare 101 in Chino Hills. It's going to be at the Holiday Inn lobby. We're going to have food come in and catered in for our guests. And this is purely an educational seminar to give you the A's, B's, and C's of what Medicare is all about. And for those that are turning 65, it's a free seminar. And we do offer these seminars locally in our community every month or every other month. So we're excited. We already have 30 RSVPs set to show up at our meeting. So we're excited about that. But again, these are free educational seminars that we offer to our local community because that's what we're about. We're about giving back to our community. The next question they ask is, many people find Medicare overwhelming when they turn 65. What is the biggest misconceptions you see, and what do you hope attendees walk away with after attending one of your free community workshops? Well, obviously, the biggest misconception is that Medicare is one decision. It's not one decision. It's actually a series of decisions. You have original Medicare or Medicare Advantage, whether you need a supplement, how prescription coverage fits in, what happens if you're still working at 65. All these options are at your fingertips, and you have to figure out and navigate which option is best for you. So people also do assume Medicare is free, and it's not. We've talked about this on the show. You pay into the system so that the costs are mitigated and brought down, but Medicare is not free. We do pay a base fee of right now $202 a month for Part B. So Medicare also doesn't cover everything. You know, we say time and time again, it's important to have a life insurance policy in place and to have a long-term care policy in place because those things can get expensive. And then they're often surprised to learn things like late enrollment penalties that can follow them for life. But the misconception that bothers me most is that seniors think they have to settle for feeling confused. I think one of our clients, Rick, who left us a Google review that I still go back and read, like so many people, he'd been through the runaround, the 1-800 numbers, the mailers stacked taller than the coffee table, the agents who disappeared the moment the paperwork is signed. What stuck with him wasn't that we found him a plan. It was that we picked up the phone, all right, and took the time to actually listen to his situation and kept him informed every step of the way. He walked away understanding his coverage, not just enrolled in it. That's the difference, and that's what a review can't fully capture. The relief on someone's face when the fog finally lifts. That's exactly what I hope workshop attendees walk away with. clarity about their own timeline, confidence that there are no dumb questions, and the knowledge that working with a broker costs them nothing extra. If someone leaves a workshop and doesn't become a client, but makes a smarter decision because of what they learned, that's still a win in our books. So the next question, before founding your agency, you spent more than 2 decades in nonprofit leadership. How has that experience shaped your company's culture, your We Medicare philosophy, and the way you build long-term relationships with clients? Well, nonprofit work taught us that the mission comes before the money, always. It also teaches you that relationships aren't transactions, they are commitments. When we say We Medicare, it's not a clever tagline to us, it's a standard. It means we answer the phone in July, not just during enrollment season. It means we call clients when their plan changes, just not when there's something to sell. So that philosophy extends to how I've built this team. We now have around 26 independent agents serving over 1,100 clients across more than 30 states, and every one of them knows the expectation. Be an educator first, a neighbor second, and a salesperson a distant third. My nonprofit years taught me that trust compounds over time. Clients feel the difference between someone chasing a commission and someone building a relationship. And they tell their friends. Honestly, our business is growing gangbusters because people refer us out all the time. And we're able to help their friends, neighbors, family. It's amazing how many people have referred us out. And that's kudos to you guys for trusting us with your business. So next question, as your agency continues to grow, you've also applied to speak at Medicarians about developing the next generation of insurance professionals. What qualities do you believe today's agents need to succeed? And why do you think an education-first mindset is the future of this industry? Well, the next generation of agents needs 3 things: genuine curiosity, patience, and the humility to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. Product knowledge can be taught, character cannot. I look for people who would be great teachers because that's what really this job is all about, right? We're all about educating first and not selling and putting that pressure on you. We want to make sure you understand the ins and outs of not just Medicare, but all things insurance. So education first is the future because the old playbook is dying. Consumers are more informed, regulations are tightening, and seniors can smell a hard sell from a mile away. The agents who will thrive are the ones who build authority by giving knowledge away freely through workshops, content, radio, community presence. That's part of why I applied to speak at Medicarians. I believe our industry's reputation gets rebuilt one well-trained, service-minded agent at a time, and I want to help develop them. When you lead with education, you're not competing on price or pressure. You're competing on trust, and trust wins every time. All right, so the last question they asked me is whether you're serving clients, hosting your radio show, coaching youth basketball, or staying active in your local community, service is a consistent theme throughout your work. Looking ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave for both your clients and the next generation of insurance professionals? Well, honestly, for my clients, I hope the legacy is simple. They never felt like a number. I want people to say he took the time to make sure I understood. But the deeper answer starts before the agency. I spent 22 years, again, in nonprofit work, and I spent my whole life learning that doors don't always open for you. Sometimes you're the person who wasn't invited into the room. My faith taught me what to do with that. Keep showing up, keep serving, and build your own table with room for others. That's why the workshops are free. That's why the radio show exists. That's why I coach the Clutch Kings, my son's basketball team, because a kid who learns to compete with heart and character at 10 years old carries that into everything. My family sees all of it, the early mornings, the client calls on weekends, the chamber events, and honestly, that's part of the legacy too. I want my kids to grow up watching what it looks like to build something honest in your own community with your own name on the door and to treat every person who walks through it with dignity. For the next generation of agents, I hope to leave a model, proof that you can grow real business without ever compromising on integrity. Again, without ever compromising on integrity. If 10 years from now, there are agents running education-first agencies because they saw it work here, and clients across the country who can explain their own coverage because someone finally taught them, that's a legacy worth more than any book of business. We don't just sell insurance, we Medicare, and I hope that outlives me. And honestly, folks, that is my motto. We are here to care about you. We immensely want to make sure that you are cared for and that you are provided for and that you make the right decisions. And so that's just my background of where I've come from. And that's why I have such a servant's heart. That's why Glenn has a servant's heart. That's why the agents that we hire have that same characteristic. It's important for us to keep that culture in our agency. So again, there's different places you can visit us. Obviously, this website, josephinsurancebroker.com. You can go to our Facebook page where this show is live, Joseph Insurance Broker LLC. Our YouTube channel here, it's at Medicare Minute with Peter. There's a couple other articles you can check out here as well. And so I encourage you guys to check out the ins and outs of our website. So real quick, anytime that you need to get a quote, you just click this Get a Quote button on the top, and then you're going to fill out this information and the product that you're looking for. So this dropdown gives you Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, Part D plans, health insurance, long-term care, commercial auto property, small business group benefits, life insurance, California Fair Plan, Bamboo Home Insurance, Aegis, business insurance, dental vision, or other. You name it, we do offer it and we service it well. We've been doing this for 10 years. And so we can definitely help you with all your needs. We want to be a one-stop shop for all our clients. So all you do is click Get a Quote, you fill that information out and it gets to our inbox, and Glenn will get a copy of that as well. The other place is, if you go back here and you click Join Our Team, let's say you're an agent listening in and you want to find a new home, and this really rang a bell with you guys. You click Join Our Team, and same thing, you're going to be given this information on what we offer. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to fill out your information, what states you're licensed in. Are you currently a licensed agent? What services you're licensed in? And then you submit that, and we will definitely get back to you as soon as we can. We would love to have you join our team. Again, we're already at 26 agents. Obviously, our agents love us. They don't leave us. Very rarely do they leave us. If they leave us, it's because of a career change. But we're here to support you and give you the tools that you need to be successful in this market. So definitely reach out to me if you want to join our team. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here, get back to our show. So thank you so much for listening in this morning, making the time. Again, we are so blessed. We've had quite a few visitors and quite a few people observe us and watch our show. First couple of shows, we've had over 2,700 people view our show. So that is tremendous. I hope that continues. And we want to be an outlet and a resource, a place where you can ask us any questions while we're going live, so we can answer you right then and there. We do this because we want to serve our community. We do this because we want to get that information out to you as soon as possible. Anything new changes in our market, whether it's Medicare, regular insurance, life insurance, any regulations or laws that change, we will bring that forth to you here on our show. Make sure that you have that information so you can apply it to your particular situation. We thank you so much for our sponsors. At the end of the show, you'll see a list of our sponsors. We have quite a few, especially our FMO that we work with, Everything Senior Insurance. We wouldn't be here without them. So thank you, Christian Brindle and Glenn Shelton, the owners of Everything Senior Insurance. Lead Heroes, they offer leads to our agents. John Alanya, who is a realtor here locally in Southern California, he helped us buy our first home. So we will consistently and continually bring small businesses here on our platform that we trust inherently and that we actually do business ourselves with. So thank you for our sponsors. Thank you for listening. And we do this because we Medicare.
Thanks for listening. Tune into Medicare Hour and more with Peter every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time right here on K4HD Radio at k4hd.com for more real-life stories from experts who Medicare about you and protecting your health, your finances, and your future. See you next week.